The Raiders play what we call a 4-4, 4 defense and 4 linebackers. So coming in, another defense. Greg Baum breaking tackles, still going. 45, he's into Raider territory. 40, 35, and he's tripped at the 30-yard line. Craig Baum, 40-yard run for the senior, also known as Balaki. And the Wildcats are in business. He recovered the fumble.
Okay, rookie mistakes. Rookie mistake, but a good. What he has is a sense of where he is and no panic. I've seen seniors not handle that situation that well.
He's able to keep that composure. Wildcats have 2 to the left here. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter, no score, as Damian Reyes will get the carry, and he manages to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That might be the final play here of the first quarter. And when we come back, the Wildcats are going to be facing a very critical 3rd down as they are knocking on that door against this Cibola Raider defense. That will do it. Exciting first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, Brawley nothing and Cibola nothing. But the Wildcats are driving when we come back.
Whether you're buying, selling, or renting a home, or for all your agricultural real estate needs, call on the Dom team, your experienced hometown agents who have served the Imperial Valley since 2002. Let the Dom team make your next real estate transaction more successful and enjoyable. Give Doug or Andrew a call at 760-427-6741. The Dom team, proud supporters of Wildcat football.
Desert RV is located, owned, and operated at 1552 Main Street in Brawley. Call Joel Gonzalez at 760-344-9200. Joel and crew offer RV storage and service, now offering auto body repair and paint, and a full line of truck accessories. Go number 6, Jonathan Gonzalez and the Brawley Wildcats.
That's the one I wasn't supposed to upload. Okay, welcome back to Cibola Raider Stadium. Tom Ronco with Danny Tombach and Albert Padilla. 0-0, but the Wildcats driving the football in 4-down territory with a 3rd and 6 from the Cibola 29. And now with more play-by-play, here's Albert.
Gutierrez from center fakes a handoff, decides to keep it. It looked like he had handed it off to Craig Baum. Instead, Ethan, the freshman, takes it down to the 24-yard line, and he is going to be a little bit short of the first down, but maybe about a yard here. And it might be some time for some Brawley power football here. We just saw the Wildcat defense make a big defensive stand on 4th and 1. We'll see if the Wildcat offense can come up with a big play on 4th and short from the Raider 23-yard line. They got 2 in the backfield. They're going to give it to Craig Baum. He is hit at the line of scrimmage. He spins and falls backwards. Didn't need much. We'll see. This might require a measurement.
And a Cibola Raider just pushed Channy Self halfway back to Brawley, and nobody threw any kind of a flag.
No, they're not.
They're not even going to measure. He's a yard short. So needing a yard, he got back to the line of scrimmage. So both teams, Albert Padilla, hold service, they would say, at the U.S. Open.
It's been a defensive struggle here, and that really has been the Raiders' 2 previous games against IVL opponents, against Central and against Imperial. Both relatively low-scoring games, and that seems to be the trend of tonight's game as well.
They're a big team. Brawley's always the smaller team, but we always judge the other team by, biggest, and these guys are definitely in the bigger category.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Cibola from their 23-yard line. Locklear will give to Beltran. This has been their bread and butter all night, but this time it's going nowhere. Several Wildcats waiting there at the line of scrimmage and making the stop. One of them was number 41, Chandler Self.
Yeah, good play by Chandler on that one, getting in there right away, stopping the run from developing.
Kind of using or if you're watching at home, what you're seeing is what the influence of Coach Kelly at Oregon, where everybody has a play and they all look over to the sidelines and they don't huddle up. I don't know what the advantage to that is. Knowing high school kids, I wouldn't trust it myself.
Trips to the left, one to the right. Locklear has time, double pump, underthrows, and it's incomplete. 2 Wildcats, 2 Raiders in the neighborhood, but no one able to make contact with the football. He was looking there for Christian Bonilla. That is his top wide receiver on the team.
Okay, good coverage out there by Joel Murillo. And last week, Joel had a little baptism by fire, didn't he, Danny?
Yes, he did. He was tested all last week, but this week's looking pretty good. He almost got the interception there. He was right in the path of the ball, just went through his hands.
Last week was his first start, and boy, did Yuma Catholic know he was out there.
So far, so good, though, tonight. 3rd down and long. Locklear scrambling around under pressure, and he is sacked at the 18-yard line. Locklear had all day, and he kept rolling and rolling to the right, but soon the walls closed in, and big number 42, Jesse Gutierrez, comes up with a big brawly sack, and now the Raiders have 4th and long.
Good play. That's getting the pressure, something that Brawley was unable to do last week against Reese, the quarterback for Yuma Catholic, who had an uncanny ability to spin out of trouble.
And great discipline by the Wildcat corners.
It's fake.
A bad snap, and now Gaddings is going to be tackled, the punter, at the 14-yard line, and the Wildcats will take over on downs. I don't think it was a fake. Gaddings bobbled the snap, saw 3 Wildcats coming, and he was trying to get the heck out of there, and he could not. And now the Wildcats are in Cibola red zone and knocking on the door. Brawley has to come up with points here, guys, with 9:42 remaining in a scoreless first half.
First turnover, as it were, of the game. Our first special teams miscue, I should say, with 9:42 to go.
Ethan will go out of the shotgun. Reyes is in the backfield. Ethan fakes the handoff. He's got room to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Brawley Wildcats, the freshman. Ethan Gutierrez with a 14-yard run, and with 9:34 remaining in the first half, the Wildcats are on the board, 6-0.
Good job by Ethan Gutierrez, keeping the ball himself, reading the defense, and running in for a touchdown. So that was a great job by the freshman quarterback. All right, so we have the point after attempt, the PAT. We got Javier Pereira back to kick the ball. And it's up, and it is good. It's still going. So the score right now, 7-0 in favor of the Brawley Wildcats. We have 9 minutes, 34 seconds in the second quarter. A little bit faster now, huh, Tom? Last time we got to the half about 8:30.
Yeah. The Cats were already having their milk and going to sleep. With the score 7-0, Brawley will be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the Fine Folds at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone number is 760-412-5537.
What?
Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
Wildcat Football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos, with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's, with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats from Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
And we're back, 9:34 remaining in the second quarter. Brawley on top 7-0 after the touchdown run by Ethan Gutierrez, the freshman. Tremendous ball fake. Everyone thought Reyes had it. Instead, Gutierrez was going the other way. Here's Gettings now on the kick return. He's got a gap, and he gets hit hard at the 34-yard line, but he picks up about 30 on that return, and the Raiders will start 1st and 10 with 9:26 remaining. But all the defense went to the left, thinking Reyes had it, and instead Gutierrez kept it and went around a couple of Cebola defenders before getting into the end zone. We talked about this earlier. He's got a good feel.
Yes, he does.
He's very, very good. That last play, by the way, for those of you watching at home, that's what my old partner Andy Burnett would call a snot knocker, when someone makes a tackle and doesn't even wrap them up, just does it by running into them.
Beltran gets the carry here on 1st down, picks up a few yards, self in on the tackle, along with Gutierrez, number 42.
Brawley stuffing the run, with 9:06 to go and trailing 7-0. It's a matter of time before the Raiders try to probably unleash a little bit of an air attack to get that football down the field.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking here. This is not the game that we expected to see. We expected the Raiders to be throwing the ball, 2 times for maybe every run, but that has not been the case. Beltran will get the carry, and he dances his way to the 48-yard line of the Raiders, and he is going to have a 1st down there before Nathan Torres brings him down.
Okay, a little bit something happened to him, but I'll tell you what, you better get him in his first 2 steps, or he is a very, very difficult runner to take down. He gets out in that open field, and he can make you miss.
Right.
Tom Ronco, Albert Padilla, and Danny Tombach bringing you exciting Wildcat football on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review for Wildcat Broadcasting.
1st and 10 Raiders from their 48. A new man will get the carry, and he will take it into Wildcat territory. That is Kaimani Ching, number 31. And Kaimani, with his first carry of the night, it's good for about 6 or 7 on the play, as the Raiders are in Wildcat territory, I believe, for the 2nd time tonight. They did drive all the way into the red zone, if you remember, on their last couple of offensive series ago, before being denied on a 4th and 1. Here's Ching again, and he is close to the 1st down at the 43-yard line. On the stop there for the Brawley defense, Omar Chavez, number 52, and Omar is in on a lot of tackles.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, get used to that. Get used to that phrase if you're doing the simulcast, because you're going to hear it a lot tonight.
He was a little bit shy of the 1st down, and it is going to bring up a 3rd and 1. We'll see if the Raiders keep to that ground game. This time they got a bit of a power formation. They only have 2 wideouts, and now they're going to throw it, and the pass is complete to Hoffmeyer, number 85. He breaks a tackle, and he steps out of bounds around the 30-yard line. So that's the man we were alluding to earlier, Liam Hoffmeyer, the leading receiver on the Cebola Raiders, and big number 85 comes in at 6 feet 4 inches, 225 pounds. And he has been the focal point of the Brawley defensive strategy tonight, according to my sources. They've been really wanting to keep him out of the game, and so far they have. But here he comes up with a big 1st down catch with 6:56 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Wildcats on top 7-0, just outside the 30. Raiders go back to that ground game, and Beltran stopped in the backfield, and then he just danced his way inside the 30, and he picks up about 4 or 5 on the play.
Very patient runner. He took it. He looked like he was going to be hit in the backfield, but he didn't run into the tackler. He just kind of sat back, danced a little bit, and then saw a small hole and got 4 yards out of that. Very nice run. And Wildcats doing all they can to keep him down.
It's going to be 2nd down and 5. Beltran, this time a little more power football out of him as he shoots it right up the middle. He's close, he's a few yards shy of the 1st down. He runs into a couple of Wildcats, including J.J. Gutierrez, number 6. And they will mark down Beltran at the 21. Oh, he did get the 1st down. And so the Raider drive continues.
Yeah, they ended up spotting the ball a little closer to the 20 than you originally saw. You got to be careful. They keep moving that football, so it's hard to tell.
5:53 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Raiders down a touchdown. Locklear will hand off, and Beltran is hit in the backfield and brought down for a loss. 3 Wildcats in to make the stop, including
52 Omar Chavez, 41 Channy Self, and I think Nathan Torres made it all the way up and to join that party.
And Danny talked about it earlier, getting into that Cibola backfield and disrupting things for the Raiders.
Yep, the defense probably needs to do that now. They also got to watch the flats. They got to watch out for that pass on the flats on the left side. They've been going there a couple of times now, so they might be going that way again.
And we did see that exactly, Danny, on the last pass completion where the Raiders converted. Locklear looks to the right, pumps, connects, Gettings, cuts back upfield, gets inside the 10-yard line, still going, and he is all the way down to the 4-yard line.
He did a beautiful catch and then just cut back, and the Wildcats who were in pursuit just kind of went flying right by him and turned a short gain into a long gain, and the Wildcats are reeling with 4:50 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, it looked like the secondary was dealing with a deep pass in the corner over there, leaving the Cibola receiver open right there in the flats.
A bit of a wrinkle there in that Raider offense, and now they're in business now. 1st and goal inside the Wildcat 5-yard line. Power formation. Beltran gets the carry, moving towards the goal line. No signal, and he is brought down at about the 1.5-yard line with 4 minutes and 12 seconds and ticking.
Brawley with a little more beef in there now. Trying to make a play.
So we'll see if Craig Baum and Chavez and Self can turn down the Raiders.
Big number 58, Arturo Rios, is in on what you would call your goal line team.
2nd and go. That power formation, it's Beltran again, the smallest guy on the field, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cibola Raiders, a 2-yard touchdown run for John Beltran, and the Wildcat lead is down to 1.
And we have a flag on the field too. Let's see what happens. I think it was after the play. A lot of things going on by the ball at the end of the play. Let's see what happens.
Pretty quick first half. Wow.
Yeah. But we weren't even 8 minutes into the game last week at this time, Danny.
That's right.
Your stomach was growling like in the 1st quarter. We're almost near halftime, and you're fine.
Oh, the Gila Ridge game also went close to 3 hours.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you had to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah, so
you probably got there at midnight when it was over. Probably pulled up and they said, "I'm sorry, we closed an hour ago, sir."
The penalty is against the Wildcats, and it is an unsportsmanlike.
Okay, first penalty against the Wildcats, realistically.
Oh, and it looks like a Wildcat player has been ejected, and some of the Cibola officials are saying that it was Nathan Torres, number 12,
oh, that
who
could
has
be
been tossed, and that is not good news for Wildcat fans. So there must have been some sort of a minor altercation there during the touchdown run by John Beltran, the junior. And an unsportsmanlike against Nathan Torres.
All right, so we have the point after attempt by Yuma. They're getting set to getting set to kick. With 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we
got another penalty there.
Yep.
Yeah, we're starting to get into the Yuma mode.
Yeah. Well, with 3 minutes and 43 seconds, we have a tie game, 7-7.
They are pointing at another Brawley player, and Coach John Self is out there.
Oh, and there's another ejection right there.
Are you serious?
Was that another ejection?
I don't know,
Okay,
but
yes.
the player is pretty distraught.
The Cibola people are telling me that is another ejection.
Well, wow, that certainly turns the game around.
Wow. So the Wildcats had kept their composure here through a quarter and a half, no penalties, and all of a sudden a couple of unsportsmanlike and apparent ejections.
Well, I talked with Coach John Self, and I'm just going to be on the record as saying, what did you expect when we scheduled 3 games over here? We've had this difficulty, and again, I didn't see anybody throw a punch. I didn't see much of anything. And you want to call on sportsmanlike conduct to keep the game in control, that's being a good official. You want to eject somebody on an extra point, I think that's over-officiating.
And I'm not sure who the ejection was here. Ejection number 2, Chandler Self, 41.
Possibly. And now the referees are getting together, and that's just, it's a preseason game. I didn't see, again, anybody doing anything. And they're bringing the Wildcats way back. Cibola's going to kick off from the, I guess instead of the 45, they're going to kick off from the Brawley 40 when they get their 15 yards for the penalty. And it's just, and what it does is, to be honest with you guys, what it does is Brawley's trying to work on certain things. And, for example, Nene is a wide receiver. So he's someone that we're trying to work with in order to, the second penalty. So there's 30 yards in penalties on one sequence.
Wow.
30 yards, 15 and 15. But what we're trying to do is work on timing. Chandler is a tight end. If he's out of the game now, Gutierrez has no tight end to throw to per se. He has no wide receiver to throw to per se. So this game becomes kind of.
Well, they better watch out here for the onside kick.
Yeah,
They're at the 30.
Of course they're going to do that.
This has to be an onside kick. It would not make sense to just kick it through the end zone here.
No, you bounce it.
And there's a bunch of Wildcats that are 20 yards off the ball. They need to be up a little bit closer here.
And normally Nathan is the deep back, and he's not back there. So I think you're absolutely correct.
And let's hope that it doesn't cost the Wildcats. I'm assuming here this has got to be an onside kick. There it is. And a Wildcat does recover there, number 6, J.J. Gutierrez. But he had it. If he hadn't, there's 5 Raiders coming right at him, ready to punish him and steal potentially another possession. But instead, the Wildcats will start inside their 20. I don't know why they ejected Self. I did see that the kicker, there was a roughing at the kicker on that play.
But you call roughing of the kicker unless he does something flagrant. You do not. I've never heard of anybody being ejected on an extra penalty. I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of football. And Self is not out there.
Out of the gun, movement at the line, no penalty. Craig Baum will get the carry. And we're not, in all fairness, we're not down on the field. It could have been, a 4-letter word or something addressed at an official, at a Cibola player. I mean, I'm speculating here because we didn't see anything malicious or violent.
So we certainly don't know what happened. You're absolutely right.
But let's get the scoop
usually
here.
we see a blow, maybe.
Yeah, like the Gila Ridge game. You saw those blows at the over there.
I can get Billy Brewer up maybe at halftime to be a guest and explain to us what's going on down there.
Gutierrez here had an option to toss to the left. He decides to keep the football. And now the Wildcats are facing a 3rd down. They need about 3. 2:51 remaining and ticking here in the first half. Brawley 7, Raiders 7. But perhaps the momentum of this game completely shifted in the Raiders' favor, especially after we see a couple of Wildcats leaving the field now. apparently they have been ejected, and we'll try to get more news from that as soon as we can. Gutierrez fakes a handoff. He keeps it running room as he dances through the Cibola defense, and he gets all the way to the Wildcat 37-yard line, a gain of close to 10, and he moves the chains. First down, Brawley.
Yeah, Ethan's showing a lot of composure as a freshman quarterback. He's able to read the defense, knows when to keep the ball down, knows when to pitch it out, and that was a great play by him, getting the first down.
And this is exactly what the Wildcats need, guys.
Somebody needs to step up, and here's the freshman. Here's the freshman saying, I don't care. I'm here. I love him.
Let's pick up a couple first downs and at least milk the clock here, and maybe the Wildcats can put some points on the board out of the gun. Gutierrez has protection, and he connects right at the first down sticks. Good throw. Julian Camargo, number 20. With a good reception, the ball hit him right between the 2 and the 0.
Yeah, Julian looking a lot more comfortable now since he was replacing Jay Fernandez with his broken jaw. Camargo looking pretty good now. Looks pretty calm with 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock.
They're going to send 3 to the right, another to the left. Craig Baum, the lone back. Ethan again with time, rolls right, steps in the pocket, fires and completes it to Damian Reyes. And Reyes bobbled the reception, is able to hold on to the football, and then picks up a few more yards to the Raider 33-yard line. And now back-to-back completions for the Wildcat offense. First and 10 at the Raider 33 with 1:22 and ticking here in the first half. Out of the gun, Gutierrez. 2 to the right. Craig Baum in the backfield. They have 2 to the left. They're going to split 4. Now we have a timeout for the Raiders.
Timeout, Cibola Raiders. 1:11 to go. Brawley driving. Nice presence by Ethan Gutierrez. Nice catch out there by Damian Reyes. And with the score 7-7, we'll be back.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Okay, back at Cibola Raider Stadium, the Wildcats regrouping behind freshman Ethan Gutierrez, who did a nice job of eluding the rush, stepping into the pocket and firing. And now more play-by-play. The last of minute 11. Here's Albert.
First and 10. Wildcats here looking to change up the formation after the Raider timeout. First and 10 from the Raider 33. Gutierrez out of the gun. He's been getting time to throw. Same thing here. This time he's going to take off down the left sideline. He picks up the first down. 20, 15, and out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Ethan Gutierrez making the right play for the third straight time here in this drive. And this time, instead of connecting with the wideout, he is able to see the big lane to run, and he takes off for about a 15-yard. And the Wildcats now have a first and 10 from the Raider 12-yard line.
Had a chance to go out of bounds about the 20 and stop the clock, but saw that he could juke one defender and maybe get 5 or 7 more yards and get out of bounds. What sense of presence for a freshman, Danny?
Yeah, and also he looked through his primary, secondary, and the third receivers, and he saw they were all covered, and he knew that, and he rolled out to the outside and ran the ball, gained the first down. So he's showing a lot of discipline, a lot of knowledge and awareness of the game right now, and it's really, really good to see him as a freshman. Looking good for the next 4 years, 3.5 years for Brawley football.
Cibola takes a look at the Brawley offensive set and decides to call a timeout. Albert, Danny, and I will be back. Don't go anywhere. Exciting Wildcat football. This portion of Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at the Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from the Man Company. This portion of Wildcat football is brought to you by Ojeda Industries, located on the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley. Ojeda Industries has heavy-duty hubs, spindles, and trailer parts, as well as American roller chain and all sorts of bearings. You know Tony and Travis Ojeda. Stop by and see them at Ojeda Industries, located on the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley.
62 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Brawley has a football in a tie game at 7, 1st and 10 from the 12, and Craig Baum will get the carry but will not have a lot of room to run, and he is brought down for no gain. Clock continues to wind here.
I'm sure Coach John Self called a number of plays, and they're letting the clock run even though the ball's bouncing around, but the officials made no attempt to stop it.
Gutierrez will go under center. They split a couple of backs. Craig Baum again runs up the middle, breaks a tackle. I think he fumbled the football at the 5. And we will wait for the signal. Timeout, as it looks like the Wildcats have held on to possession of the football. With 33 seconds remaining here in the first half, we have a timeout for the Wildcats.
Okay, we will be back. This portion of Wildcat football is brought to you by Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers, located at 350 G Street in Brawley. Stop by and talk with Jeff or Holly, or give them a call at 760-344-0600. That's Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers. Go Wildcats from Clicka Parker Insurance.
Back from timeout here. 33 seconds remaining. 3rd and goal, Wildcats. This could be the turning point of the game, guys, if the Wildcats can get in the end zone after the damages they suffered here on the last offensive series by the Raiders, not only surrendering what was a 7-point lead, but losing 2 of their key players on the defensive side of the football. 3rd and goal. Gutierrez will give to Craig Baum, and he runs into a couple of black jerseys. A short gain on the play. The clock ticking here now at 23 seconds to go. And it looks like we're going to have another timeout here for the Wildcats with 23 seconds remaining in the first half.
That will be their last timeout. They burned one earlier in the first series when the Cibola Raiders were driving. Albert, Danny, and I will be back with the final 23 seconds. And then don't go anywhere. Great halftime plan for you and the second half.
OK Rubber Tire Company in Brawley, a longtime supporter of Wildcat football, and your local dealer for Brickstone and Firestone quality tires and farm tire service at the corner of North 8 and C Streets in Brawley. Call 344-4541. OK Rubber Tire Company.
Okay, a little measurement during the timeout, gentlemen, and the Wildcats appear to have gotten the first down. It's going to be, or no, they're going to say they did not get it. They are about a yard short. So in addition to the fact that Brawley needs about 4 yards, I would say, or 1 yard for the touchdown, they need a couple for a first down. So here we go. Albert?
Yeah, Wildcats can pick up the first here before getting into the end zone. Remember, time is ticking. Craig Baum appears to have the first down. He is hit at the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward. The clock will stop momentarily with 19 seconds. Let's see if we get it. This is going to be a first down, guys.
Yeah, the clock has to stop. This is a first down.
Yeah. The clock will stop momentarily. They will wind it. It is ticking, 17, 16, and we have a timeout by the Raiders.
Whoa.
Not sure if that's the best decision in the world here, but we'll take it.
But it lets the Wildcats regroup and call a couple of plays, which they may need to do.
Right.
I'll tell you what, this has been an exciting minute and 11, and we're going to be back after these messages.
Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate Agency is a proud sponsor of Wildcat football and has been serving the Valley's real estate and insurance needs since 1930. Stop by their office at 510 West Main Street in Brawley. Go Wildcats from Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate Agency.
Okay, welcome back to Cibola Raiders Stadium. Let's set the stage for you. There are 16 seconds on the clock. Both Brawley and Cibola are out of timeouts. Brawley might take a shot with a pass just to see if they can get it, and it also incomplete will stop the clock. Game is at 7-7. The Wildcats have driven pretty much the length of the field after getting the kickoff on like the 12-yard line.
Right.
So here we go. And with the final 16 seconds, here's Albert Padilla.
Second and goal. Wildcats should be able to get at least 2 plays. Ethan is going to try to sneak it. And the pylon moving towards the goal line. I don't see any signals, guys. The clock is going to run out on us. Oh, my goodness. 3, 2, 1, zeros on the clock.
Wow, that was a bad sequence. That just was not really fair to the Wildcats.
And now the Raiders are running off the field. The Wildcats are on the field. Let's see if we...
Nope, they're going to say it's halftime. Wow. Hey, I got news for you. This has been a walk in the park compared to last week. But again, that's what we're getting when we come here. 15 minutes on the clock. That's going to be the length of halftime. We're going to have, hopefully, Billy Brewer up here to find out what's going on. I don't know if he's answered my plea for help.
Billy is down over there talking to the official, along with Coach Self and Coach Vandiver. Gutierrez tried to sneak it from the 2-yard line, and he got stuck. There was a big pile. The clock kept running. And before you know it, 3 zeros on the clock, and the Raiders are running to the locker room with the goal line stand here on the final play of the first half. Unbelievable way, unfortunate way to end the first half if you're a Wildcat fan.
Couple updates for the football games around the Valley. We have Hopeville versus Palo Verde. Hopeville 28, Palo Verde 20, Hopeville up. And they are in the second quarter. We also have Imperial versus Monte Vista. Imperial 7, Monte Vista 17, so Imperial's down that one. And the other game right now going on, Central versus Christian. Tie game, 14 apiece, second quarter.
Okay, we'll be back with halftime after this.
Welcome to exciting 2019 Brawley High Wildcat football. This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company, OK Rubber Tire, Jordan Central Implements, Desert RV, Brant Beef, Carter Taylor and Lidco, Clayton Drain Tile Maintenance, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Clickup Parker Insurance Company, A&R Construction, Brawley Auto Center, Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate, and One World Beef Packing. And now, here is the Wildcat Broadcasting team of Tom Ronco, Danny Tombach, and Albert Padilla.
Okay, welcome back to Cibola Raiders Stadium, where we've seen a little bit of everything, and some of it good, some of it bad for the Brawley High Wildcats, as we're trying to get Billy Brewer up here, but he is walking the officials off the field, I'm sure concerned about their safety. 14 minutes for halftime, and then we'll have the mandatory 3 minutes of warm-up time in case coaches get a little bit long-winded. First, let's recap the score. It is 7-7, and in the second quarter. Brawley, after kind of both teams flailed away at each other in the first quarter, Ethan Gutierrez on a first down and 13 from the 13-yard line following a muffed punt attempt by the Cibola Raiders, simply sent everybody to the left and scooted untouched on the right into the end zone. Xavier Pereira's extra point made it 7-0 Brawley. Then a drive by the Cibola Raiders, which was a legitimate drive, but got kind of almost marred. Well, I'm trying to think of the word. It kind of went. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Overshadowed by
it was overshadowed
point.
by the touchdown, which saw the ejection, we think, of Nathan Torres, number 12, and then we also. We'll get an official thing right here, but we'll let him catch his breath. And then an ejection on an extra point, something I've never seen unless I'm serious. 40 plus years of this, I've just never seen it. Now we go back to high school. We can go back a long way besides 40 if you want to. Never, ever seen that. I can't imagine. I've seen kickers get leveled and nobody be ejected. So we'll find out what's going on here as Billy Brewer, who is nice enough to escort the officials off the field at halftime, concerned about their safety, has joined us. And Billy, welcome. We were going to give you the night off, but Albert, Danny, and I are sitting here wondering, what's going on?
I wish I could answer that question, Coach.
Well, in words that you can say on a kind of a, hey, we don't have the FCC anymore. No more radio. So you can pretty much fire away, dude. You can make YouTube history.
My wife and family would not be happy with that one if I did that. And nor would I don't think Superintendent.
No. It's somewhere up above, the coach we all know and love would be disappointed in you too. Although I got news for you. He'd be biting his lip worse than you.
I didn't bite my lip at the end there, Coach. But let me tell you what happened. I mean, you might have had a better view than me, but I'm standing on about the 10-yard line. Let's go back to Nathan first. Nathan Torres, number 12. There was a little scuffle there at the end. Number 41, number 12. A couple of our kids in there is pushing. Not the end of the world. I'm not sticking up for it. But there was one of our linemen got into a scuffle. That kid ended up getting up and pushing Nathan, who had nothing to do with anything. Nathan pushed back, and you know how this goes, and that's what they saw. And then they went a step further, saying he threw a punch, which I just told them right now I'd love to show them the video, which they said they're going to look at. Doesn't help for this game, but at least would help him for the next week of not being out of a game, because that's what would take place when somebody gets ejected, regardless of the state. And that was my conversation down there right then.
Okay. So I know you're revved up.
That's all right. I'm okay. Catch my breath. I'm getting old.
You're on 12 cylinders. Okay. So on the touchdown, there was some pushing and shoving.
Typical stuff.
Yeah, I know it's football. Okay, if you played football, oh my God, is that a shocking thing? No, it's not.
Little stuff.
Then you get a lineman who gets pushed and then turns around, finds the first guy he can find, especially a nice little guy, and shoves him. Doesn't get caught. The little guy says, "Hey, wait a minute," and shoves back.
He reaches up because he's smart. He reaches up and he sees that.
It's always the reaction.
So he went up towards, just so you know, Coach, the kid was probably about 6'3" from Cibola. And he reached up, got him in the shoulder pads, and the ref said that was a punch, is basically what he said, which he was trying to push back a kid a whole lot taller than him.
If we can verify that it was not a punch.
We have it on video.
We have. What I'm saying is, the idea is that in the heat of the moment, and as Albert Padilla, doing the play-by-play, pointed out, we're not down there. We don't know exactly what happened. And it was good counsel, okay, because I tend to get a little hyperventilated. But the bottom line is, you can be ejected, and what the referee thinks what he saw, and if he says it's based on this, and you can show in the film it wasn't based on that, that becomes kind of mitigating circumstances. Does no good for this game, but we need Nene. Obviously.
Yes. And the thing about that is the guy was at least open enough to saying if I messed up and I only saw the second one, let me look at it, and he gave me an email address, and we'll follow up Monday, and we'll go from there.
That's good. Okay, and they do not report to the San Diego section of CIF, by the way. They report to the AIA.
Right, but in a situation like that, Coach, and we'll go back to Gila Ridge, in a situation like that, our section still goes by if you got thrown out, regardless of what state, you're sitting out a game. If you don't, and it's brought up later, you're forfeiting ball game. So we would definitely sit these guys out next week, but that's why I'm hoping we can, which I know we can show at least one of them that that's not accurate.
That takes care of Nene. You're listening to Halftime, Brawley Wildcat Football. You're watching, I would assume, the Cibola Marching Band. It's a good thing the camera's not on Billy and I. 9:02 to go in halftime, 7-7 ball game. A great ball game on the field. A little bit, and the refs, actually, we were complimenting them because we couldn't believe we were almost all the way through the first half. And then a couple of penalties. The second ejection, if we have that correct, is there a second ejection?
They both were ejected, yes.
Okay, so they being who?
Chandler. Number 41,
Chandler himself. All right, we saw him going off. His ejection is
permanent.
Appealable or what?
No.
Okay, so he is not only out of this game, Chandler will
sit out next week,
and he has the enviable task of not only having to live with Coach during practice and film and weight room. He's got the unenviable task of living with Coach literally all week long. But they have worked that out, as you know, your good father and son relationships are, and theirs is as good as it gets in a lot of ways.
So, Billy, quick question for you.
Yeah, Albert Padilla, jump in.
Chandler ejected during the PAT or during the same sequence with Nathan?
No, the PAT. They say he was targeting for the head, basically, is what the official said, the white cat.
Targeting the kicker.
Targeting the kicker, correct.
But he did not hit the kicker with his head.
No, I didn't see him hit. I didn't see it. None of the rest of us saw it over there. He did hit him. I tackled him. You know, I can understand if that's a penalty or something, if they want to call it that. But head, and the whole issue was the head. And I did not see any of that. I hit somewhere around the waist area is what I saw, and that's all what I saw. So.
Okay, well, this introduces some new stuff for my column in the on the harrowing adventure it is of scheduling non-league games.
Let me say one thing too, Coach. The Cibola AD came over to me, Brett Pavey, good guy.
Oh no, he's a
class act.
He brought us water.
Yes,
you talk about a good guy.
He's a class act, and they're a class act. To be totally honest with
you,
the school.
The kids or the coaches or anything.
This is a Phoenix crew, and at the end of the day, he's never had him. Didn't know what happened. He came over to talk to me earlier, or right there at the end of that second period, and he felt bad it took place. There was a lot of stuff going on right there.
Yeah, but I mean, he needs to understand that when you have a squad the size of ours, that you cannot leave the fate of our preseason. You know, and my point was, and take it this way, it's okay in a certain way if they did something. On the other hand, if they didn't, we need precious time with Ethan and Chandler as his tight end. We need precious time with Ethan and Nene as a wide receiver, because in 2 weeks we got to play the Imperial Tigers, and this is not going to be easy if we're missing pieces for maybe not the best reason. How's that? I won't say for no good reason.
Right.
You get in the game and you get hot and you do things, but I mean, come on. Unless we were at Cibola and Gila and the guy was swinging his helmet at people and they didn't eject him. So it just makes it really, really random and hard on high school kids, hard on coaches, hard on all of us. So
let me say about those coaches. Let me say about those officials. Just in dealing with them right there in the second period, I don't think anybody's out here trying to beat somebody or put somebody at a deficit. I don't believe that's going the case. I think they believe they saw what they saw, or what they believe what they saw, and at least they're open enough, because most officials aren't, as you know. At least they're open enough to show me a film and we'll go from there, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's all there is to it. But I mean, it doesn't look, Billy, on the surface like it's an unjustified punishment. But what I'm saying is, any other year we could take that and say, okay, we're gonna run Michael Moreno, we're gonna run Austin Gutierrez, we're gonna run we're gonna run somebody 30 times or 35 times instead of 28 next game, and we'll be fine. But that's not what we're trying to do this year. So that's what exasperates me a little bit. I know what the Wildcats are trying to do, and again, Billy's not up here to pitch this, but every time I see him, I want to pitch it. we need you out there next week. These kids have played their heart out on the road against untold adversity, and we really enjoy bringing you these simulcasts. I don't know what you're going to call it, right? But the idea is that, they need to look in the stands. The weather's nice. I mean, if you don't think this is nice weather, I don't know where you've been living.
Beautiful.
I don't know where you've been living, but it isn't in the Imperial Valley. So come on out, fill the stands, let these kids know, and then the week after that we have homecoming, and again, everybody, I'm a Wildcat. Well, okay, we're celebrating homecoming. Billy's not a Wildcat. I'm not necessarily a Wildcat either. We're going to be there. Come on out. All right, simple enough.
And
Albert?
Billy, I do one more question before you leave us.
Yes, Coach.
So next year, assuming we play Cibola, Yuma Catholic, Gila Ridge, they're coming to our place, right?
Correct.
Field.
It starts a brand new 2-year block if we sign up. At this point, we are on that. I don't think Kofa, but probably the rest of them. Yeah.
And that is my question. Has what we've seen tonight, last week against Yuma Catholic, a few weeks ago against Gila Ridge, does that affect scheduling future games?
I got what you're saying, Albert. Yeah, yes. I mean, it does. No question about it. The thing about that, and you guys always speak about this, not the first one to let anybody know what I'm getting ready to say. The problem is I mean, there's a lot of positives in the down the road and the heat, and we're both the climates and people used to it. But in saying that, we have to have a preseason that we know everything's going to be straight across the board. And we get beat, we get beat. If it's fair and square, we get beat, we get beat. So all I would say is, yes, does that affect that? Absolutely. We're going to have to look at that in the spring when we're scheduling these games for the next couple of years.
But I will interject, having done your job, Billy, that when I had to schedule Riverside County, there was a built-in prejudice in my coaches' minds, my fans' minds, my players' minds, that as soon as they got off that bus, flags were going to start flying. So finding the ideal environment is not necessarily the issue. I think what it'll come down to with Coach John Self and yourself, Billy, is this a competitive game? Is it a game we can play, learn from, grow from, move on? And I think for everybody on this team that's not a senior, they would very much like to play those 3 schools in Brawley next year.
No, there's no question about that. There's no question about that.
I think the motivation.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And again, we've played for many years. As long as Gila Ridge has been open, as long as Cibola's been open, we've played for many years, and we've had. I don't know if we've had it as to the level we've had it this preseason, but we have had certain circumstances through games throughout the years, and we're just going to try to fight through them. One thing, like you just said, Coach Ronco, is that adversity, they're fighting through adversity, and there's a good thing about all of that at the end of the day.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
it'll pay off at the end.
We drove that ball like we hadn't driven it before.
Yes, they opened it up a little bit.
You know what? There, if Nathan and Channy become martyrs for the cause, that's acceptable. If that fires that team up, and I know it's fired up.
Nathan would have been big on that last drive. Nathan would have been big.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? We did really well without him.
The kids step up. They do. They're resilient. They're resilient. They're kids, and they'll bounce back. And they'll bounce back this quarter.
They're absolutely resilient.
Guys, on that last play, sorry to interject.
No, you're fine.
16 seconds. They call the timeout. We go with the quarterback sneak. There's confusion there. Billy, did you get any clarification from the officials on that last play?
Yes, Albert. My coaching staff felt like, I'm standing on the goal line, to be totally honest with you. There's obviously a push by our lineman to try to get the ball over the line. And our linemen were trying to set it down. Of course, Cibola was jumping on it, trying to keep it away. My coaching staff felt like, and I could see where this could definitely be said, was they felt like they held the ball a little too long rather than putting the ball down to let us get another playoff.
Yeah,
and to be totally honest with you, it should have been enough time there to get one more play. We wouldn't have got any more than that to get one more playoff, and that was what the issue was there at the end.
Yeah, they took forever. All right. Well, but they're a crew, and
I think they're going to be a little more aware of the staff. Let's put it that way, so we can go from there.
I think they understand now. They're in a game, and that it's heated, and that it's a rivalry to a certain extent, and they need to up their game. That would be my only request, and I think.
And again, Cibola has been great hosts, so they've done a great job. I know you guys are saying that, but it's a Phoenix thing, and we're good. We're going to have to fight through it, and we knew that really coming in, to be totally honest with you. And, when they come to our place, they feel the same way about Cal. It's not a hidden secret. So Cibola's always thought they kind of got the better, or not just Cibola, but Arizona Yuma schools always felt like they kind of get the short end of the stick when they come to Ivy schools. So, it is what it is. We all know that coming in.
Yeah, and part of it's that interpretation of defensive play.
It's a big one.
And a lot of things. I've said it a couple of times. I'll just throw it in one more time. There is a common rule book for the United States of America
NFHS.
high school football. Yep. However, associations interpret it differently, and that's where the problems come in. So the best laid plans of mice and men. Billy, thank you very much for coming up. We appreciate you.
Great times.
We're going to see you after the game.
All right, we're going to fight.
And I hope we both have a smile.
Yeah, you and me both, my friend.
Here we go. Danny Tombach will be stepping back in. That's it for halftime. 7-7. Brawley and Cibola. And the Wildcats will be coming back and kicking off as Cibola was able to won the coin toss before the game, but deferred. So we're going to be back with second half football. You're watching and listening to Wildcat Broadcasting and the Desert Review on thedesertreview.com and also on Facebook at The Desert Review. Don't go anywhere. The second half is coming up.
Welcome to exciting 2019 Brawley High Wildcat football. This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company, OK Rubber Tire, Jordan Central Implements, Desert RV, Brant Beef, Carter Taylor and Lidco, Clayton Drain Tile Maintenance, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Clicka Parker Insurance Company, A&R Construction, Brawley Auto Center, Smith Candle Insurance and Real Estate, and One World Beef Packing. And now, here's the Wildcat Broadcasting team of Tom Ronco, Danny Tombach, and Albert Padilla.
Welcome back to Cibola High School Raider Stadium in Yuma, Arizona. An eventful first half is in the books.
Wow.
The score is 7-7. The Wildcats will kick off again, having lost the toss, and Cibola electing to defer. And I'll tell you what, this game is anybody's. And here with the second half play-by-play is Albert Padilla.
All right, guys, here we go. 24 minutes of football as the Wildcats looking to get their first victory of the season in Yuma. Already having lost to Gila Ridge on opening night and Yuma Catholic last week. And a tie ball game here as we start the third quarter. And Christian Bonilla fields the kick, but he trips. And he is stopped for no gain. What a way to end the first half, guys. I still can't get over it. Raiders tie the game up. Wildcats lose two key players. And then Brawley, in less than 2 minutes, drives 80 yards, goes down to the 2-yard line. They tried to sneak it in. Maybe he gets in, maybe not. It takes forever to put the football in place, and the half runs out on the Wildcats. Just so close to putting points on the board. Raiders going back to their bread and butter. John Beltran.
Coach. He looked good at Gila Ridge, too. He made a couple key tackles against Gila Ridge a couple weeks ago also. So he's ready to go.
So, again, you brought up a good point, Tom. We're trying to work out Nathan. We're trying to work out, Torres in some key spots. But the flip side is now we get these fresh legs, and they're going to get some valuable experience here against a very competitive Raider team. And here's a penalty marker.
And that's going to be, we just got through praising him, and then he gets caught up with the Yuma receiver.
And that's a tough matchup.
Yep.
For Figueroa on Liam Hoffmeyer, who's 6 feet 4 inches, and I'm not sure how tall Figueroa is, but I'm willing to bet he's not 6 feet 4 inches, guys. What do you think?
I'll bet you he's not 6 feet.
5'11". We got him at 5'11".
5'11", 145.
Yeah, well, I don't care what they list him at. That's a famous story with former Brawley player and coach Mike Swearingen that USC was looking at Robert Thomas his senior year at Imperial High School, and they watched him 3 home games in a row, and finally one of the USC scouts that was with John Robinson, the coach at the time, pointed out to the Imperial athletic director that every time he came down, Robert had grown an inch and put on 10 pounds. And he just thought that was kind of amazing that in 3 weeks he had grown 3 inches and put on 30 pounds. So,
Well, the positive thing with number 3, Jaden, he was all over. You know?
Yeah, he was right there. He's not backing off. You got that right.
I mean, the last couple of passes right there on the flats, they were, they were in open territory.
And Beltran gets the carry there. John Beltran and Nathan May with the tackle. As Sobola, again, we expected more of an air attack. Instead, they've been running the ball here between John Beltran. This has got to be one of his biggest workloads of the season, as he just came in with a little bit under 200 yards in about 4 games. So he's getting a workout tonight. He gets the carry again.
And it could also be, in all fairness, Albert Padilla, as he picks up about 5 or 6 yards and gets down close to a first down, that maybe he's just maturing as a runner.
Right.
Maybe the first couple of games they've used him sparingly, but as he's you give in high school you go with what works.
Right.
And tonight, so far, that looks like it's working.
Yes, it is. And now it's 3rd and short yardage. We'll call it about 3 for the Raiders. Very critical play here. Don't want to get a penalty. As we've seen in previous week, that has been costly for the Wildcats. Beltran bounces out to the left side, picks up a first down, out of bounds at the 41-yard line. One of you guys mentioned this earlier. He's a very patient runner.
He showed it there.
Yes. Yep. Reminds me of, he doesn't have the size of a Le'Veon Bell, but it reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell, running back for the New York Jets, and that's kind of the way he runs. He'll get the ball, and he'll sit there for a few split seconds and then decide which path to take, and usually it works out for him. And for Beltran, that has been working out tonight. Very patient, picking up a lot of yardage, and right there he picks up a big first down. Raiders just outside the Wildcat 40. Beltran again, but this time white jerseys are there to corral him after a gain of 1. And we've got Omar Chavez, who said his name several times tonight, and who we're going to have to say his name a bunch of times tonight with Chandler Self no longer available.
Jesse Gutierrez, number 42, also in on that play.
And Gutierrez and a couple of others here are going to have to step up here for the Wildcat defense with 2 of their key guys out. 2nd down and 9. Raiders will have trips to the right, including Hoffmeyer. Beltran, the lone back. Out of the gun, Beltran hit in the backfield, and he is brought down for a loss. Omar Chavez and Jesse Gutierrez coming in. They went right through the Raider offensive line, a loss of 4 yards, and now it's 3rd and long for the Raider offense.
Okay, went to the well one time too many on that one, Danny.
Yep. And our Raleigh defense starting to fire up a little bit now, so it's a big 3rd down right here. Raleigh needs to hold them here to get some momentum going.
And you know this Raleigh defense is fired up, but very important that they keep their composure here and stop the Raiders here on 3rd down. Penalty markers on the play. Usually this is against the offense.
If it's against the defense, it's a fresh play. No.
So it's an offside.
That was a late flag for a defensive offside. Usually, once the play started, it's because a man in motion turned upfield too quickly. But usually the offense gets the decision on whether they want the penalty or the play.
Right.
And that looks like it's a little more than 5 yards. Well, maybe not. Here we go.
3rd down and 7 8:06 and ticking. Third quarter, Brawley 7, Cibola Raiders 7. One receiver to the left, trips to the right. Out of the gun once again, Locklear. Beltran, the lone back. Locklear with time up the middle. Completes a man. 10-5 and into the end zone. Liam Hoffmeyer, number 85. Touchdown. Cibola Raiders. 38 yards on that touchdown score. Quick slant up the middle for Hoffmeyer. A big target. And Quana Locklear connected and in stride. Hoffmeyer making the reception. And the Raiders, for the first time tonight, they have the lead.
Yep. All right, so we have the point after attempt. Got number 9 ready to kick the ball, and it is no good. Yeah, so the score right now, Cibola 13, Brawley Wildcat 7. We have 7 minutes, 46 seconds on the clock for the third quarter, and Brawley will get the ball back. All right, a couple updates on scores. We have Calipatria 14, Desert Christian 7 there in the second quarter. Hopeville 28, Palo Verde 27, halftime for them. And Yuma 7, Southwest 0. Also, we have Monte Vista 17, Imperial 14, third quarter. We have Christian 24, Central Spartans 14 there in the second quarter, and Vincent Memorial up 14, El Cajon Valley 0. So some scores up and updates there.
Okay, Imperial closing it down, and they're going to be a good football team. We will see them in 3 weeks. Next Friday night, we will be at Warren Field in Brawley for our final preseason game of the year with the Kofa Kings, followed the following Friday by the opening of IVL play against the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets. Albert?
Raiders about to kick off here after taking the lead. Miss PAT. We'll see if that comes back to Hanum from the 15-yard line. Chavo fields the kick, running all over the place, and he finally is brought down at the 38. Picked up on the far sideline, ran it all the way to the near sideline, and then juked it right up the middle. Pretty good return, gets 20 plus, and the Wildcats decent field position as they start from the 38-yard line here with 7:37 remaining. As we mentioned, the special teams. It was a special teams miscue by the Raiders in the first half that gave the Wildcats a very short field, and Ethan Gutierrez turned it into a touchdown run. And now the Miss PAT, so we'll see if the special teams comes back to haunt the Raiders as this game progresses.
For the Wildcats, number 52, Omar Chavez was out leading the blocking on special teams. When you play for Brawley, you play on everything. That's right. That's the way it goes.
That has been the Brawley way for many years, and especially with a couple of guys out because of the ejections. Here's Gutierrez with time, rolls to the left. Now he sees some pressure, and Gutierrez gets away from a couple of Cibola defenders and turns what should have been a sack, and instead gets about 4 yards out to the Wildcat 42.
Yeah, but Gutierrez is looking stronger every week when he runs. That first week we saw him run, and he was a little bit more timid. Today he's running a little more with authority this time around, so he's doing okay.
We didn't check the stats here at the half, but I'm willing to say Gutierrez probably got 40 to 50 yards running here up to this point. Remember, he had a big 20-yard run earlier in the second quarter. Gutierrez rolls to the right, connects. Chavo into Cibola territory. Wildcats have a first down, but Adrian Chavez, what do you guys think? Was that a run or was that a pass?
That was a lateral. He stayed back. He was in the slot, stayed in the slot, caught the pass. So if he would have muffed the pass, it would have been a live football. Yes, absolutely.
Hadn't seen that look. So another wrinkle there in the Brawley offense, and the clock moving now. 6:35 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats down by 6, and we have movement here before the snap. right side of the offensive line.
Jason May jumped first, followed by Cody Kupnick, and I think Cody kind of moved because Jason moved. But again, first real miscue that the Wildcats have done to themselves.
And it'll be first down and 15 for the Wildcats as it pushes them back into Brawley territory there, their own 48. They split two backs, and they're going to hand to the up man. This is Blake Craigbaum, and Craigbaum is going to be brought down short of the line to scrimmage or right at it, but pretty much no gain on that first down run for Blake.
Not a lot up the middle, I'll tell you what. They're putting the guys in the box and shooting the gap, so Wildcats had much more success with that little hitch pass out into the flat to Chavo a couple of plays ago.
We'll see if the Wildcats go back to it. This time Gutierrez will go out of the gun. They'll split four. Craigbaum in the backfield. Raiders showing blitz. They bring a couple. They pick it up. Gutierrez's pass is tipped, and it's caught by Nathan May. And he's down the right sideline, still going out of bounds at the 31-yard line. The pass was intended for Damian Reyes. It went off of his hands, and right there to secure the football was Nathan May, the junior, and he scampered for an extra 10 yards. Brawley Wildcats have a first down to the Raider 31.
Great concentration by Mays. It's hard to catch a pass that's not intended for you. He watched the play develop, saw the ball, caught it, and made a first down.
Great awareness. Those types of plays can be magical if they go your way or disastrous if they don't. Blitz coming, picked up again. Craigbaum has the reception, breaks the tackle, and needed one more to take it to the house, but he is out of bounds at the 19-yard line as the last Raider defender gets him. But another Wildcat first down as Gutierrez connected with Craigbaum coming out of the backfield. And they are in the Raider red zone.
Right, that's a difficult pass to catch, especially he was running full speed, reaching over his shoulder to catch the ball, and turning, going forward for a first down. So great catch by Craigbaum.
Absolutely, 1st and 10. No one on the left. They split two backs. They got two receivers to the right. Gutierrez here will keep the football, and he gets down to the 11-yard line. Excellent decision-making here by the freshman. Had a man he could have pitched there, Chavo on the right. Instead, he took it up the field, and he gets about 7 yards. It'll be second and about 3.
Okay, on that previous pass, not only did he have to throw it over a defender, but Craigbaum had to catch it with a defender right on top of him, shook off the tackle, and then was able to accelerate. So Craigbaum showing, hey, I can do more than just kind of run through the A-gap.
Right, and with someone we need to talk a little bit more about a little bit later is Craigbaum as penalty marker on the field. He is starting to turn into that go-to back that the Wildcats are so used to having.
I was going to say, I'm looking at that play. If you're watching it, and it's going to be, Sabola stood up and pointed at Brawley saying they were offside. But in doing so, one of them stepped over the line. So he was the one. The referees were not. Brawley was doing everything pretty clean. Right. So a nice drive, Albert.
And now we're first and goal for the Wildcats. They're at the Sabola 6-yard line. Craigbaum, the lone back, he's going to get the carry. And he's going to run into a sea of black and white jerseys. He does get inside the 5, it appears. Of course, Craigbaum running for 4 touchdowns and 200-plus yards last week.
Okay, and we have a Wildcat down. We're going to step back for a moment, and we will be back. A look at the scoreboard with Brawley driving. They'll have a second and goal from the 5-yard line with 4:04 to play here in the second half. Trailing 13-7. And Danny and Albert and I will be back.
Tonight's Desert Review broadcast of the Brawley High School football game is sponsored in part by Dr. Donald Barniski of Vision Care Center, located at 260 Main Street in Brawley. Dr. Barniski provides adult and children's vision care treatment of eye diseases and contact lenses. Phone is 760-351-2020. Go Brawley Wildcats from Dr. Barniski of Vision Care Center.
Back in Cibola Raider Stadium, Tom Ronco, Danny Tombach, Albert Padilla. And the Wildcats, I didn't see if somebody went off. They have to go off for at least a play.
That was the number 42, Tomas Rubio, our center right now. So
okay, we'll see if that has anything. Here we go, Albert.
Second and go, inside the 5. Penalty markers on the field.
And it's going to be offside on
76 over there, I believe, Cibola.
So this will be half the distance to the goal line. And just what the Wildcats need here now, we're getting about the 2.5 yard line here. That could be 4 down territory. I would say it's 4 down territory.
It's
guys.
4 down territory after the 50 yard line for Brawley.
3:43 left here in the third quarter. You're down a touchdown. They're going to pitch it. Greg Baum's got a blocker, and he cuts it back up, and he is stopped at the 1 yard line. I thought for a moment that he could have taken it to the outside. Instead, he took it in, but he was met by a Raider defender. It'll be 3rd and goal from the Raider 1. And if you're a Brawley offensive lineman, you do not want to get a false start penalty right here. Give your offense an opportunity. They got that power formation. Gutierrez tries to sneak it, but there are the markers that we talked about. It's going to be against the Wildcats. False start.
And that's going to hurt.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yep, those flags come on.
And it was from the back judge, which is a kind of an unusual person because he is the least closest to the line of scrimmage. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. That, it's kind of like the base umpire calling balls and strikes. A little unusual. That's where I see that.
That's a good analogy, Tom.
and you as a coach would be running out there screaming, right? Yeah.
2:53 remaining here in the third quarter. Wildcats down by 6, but they are 6 yards away from tying it up. 3rd and goal. Make it 3rd and goal from the 7. Reyes now is in the backfield. Gutierrez under center. The pitch goes to Reyes. Reyes coming left, following his blockers. Gets some yards. He's trying to dive there close to the goal line. I don't think he's in. He's not. He stopped at the 1 yard line.
How about the 1 foot line?
Oof, and it's going to be 4th and goal. So we've had a lot of big, important plays here in this game, and here comes another one. The Wildcats can tie it up here. They are less than a yard away from tying it up, which would be amazing considering all the adversity this team has faced here, dating back to late in the second quarter. 4th and goal. Gutierrez to Craigbaum. He takes it, gets the carry into the end zone. Touchdown, Brawley Wildcats. Blake Craigbaum with a 1 yard touchdown run with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Brawley has tied the Raiders at 13.
Great run by Craigbaum. He's running with authority now. He ran into a wall of Cibola Raiders. They stood him up, but he was able to break through the plane to get the touchdown.
Good job out there for the offensive line for the Brawley High Wildcats, especially on the left side. That's Dominic Saltana, Daniel Coloca, and J.J. Fernandez. Danny?
Yep. And here's a PAT, and it's up, and it is good. So, with 1 minute 50 seconds in the third quarter, we have the score.
Penalty marker.
Penalty marker? Oh, what happened there? So, if everything holds, Brawley Wildcats 14, Cibola Raiders 13.
And that penalty there looks to be in the neighborhood of unsportsmanlike and after the play, but we'll see.
We will see. We will be back with minute 50 to go in the third quarter, and Brawley leading by 14-13. A lot more football after this.
Got that new home edition. edition, and you're keeping it covered.
Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Supposed to be updating now.
All right, so a couple updates on other football games going around the valley. We have Hopeville up 36-33 versus Palo Verde. Calipatra up 14-7. Yuma 7, Southwest 0. And Monte Vista 17, Imperial 14.
Okay, back at Cibola High School, the penalty, surprise, surprise, was against the Wildcats, and it's a big one. So the Wildcats will now be kicking off from their own 25-yard line, giving Cibola excellent field position no matter what happens with this kick. And here comes Pereda.
Gettings will return it here from the 20 after the unsportsmanlike penalty, and Gettings has loads of room to run. And he spins his way to the 40-yard line. So Wildcats pretty much penalty-free football except for these 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
All on extra points.
2 of them cost them players.
2 on extra points.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but it's ludicrous.
Right.
That's over officiating.
And again, I didn't see.
We haven't had one of those, much of those, period, let alone on extra points. That's already a school record.
Billy Brewer did confirm on when the self-ejection that he was targeting the kicker, and I saw roughing the kicker on that play, but I didn't see a targeting as Beltran gets the carry here on the first play of the drive for the Raider offense. 1:35 remaining. Now Cibola down by 1.
And now a couple of flags belatedly thrown into the pile.
Hope they got the holding on number 9.
Well, I think they're getting number 9 for holding, which would be a first and a welcomed one. Finally.
Again, the officiating crew from the Phoenix area.
Well, Chava had to pull his jersey back down. His jersey went up to his neck.
And Phoenix sounds like it's a long way off, but understand that when school, like athletic directors, go to an AIA, Arizona meeting, those are in Phoenix. And with a 75-mile-an-hour speed limit, Phoenix is not that far away.
Right.
When you do 75 and not worry about getting flagged, or 80 maybe, it kind of cuts the distance, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
You'd like to do that getting to school, wouldn't you, Albert?
Right.
Albert will leave 20 minutes later. I'll be there on time. I ain't worried about it.
I would never leave. First down for the Raiders after the penalty, and Beltran gets the carry and picks up a few yards to the Raider 47.
This has been an extremely physical game, and it's a good thing that the weather is broken because Brawley has everybody pretty much going both ways. So the weather tonight, I think, is got to be considered a major factor in Brawley's being in this football game, let alone leading.
Oh, yeah, and we had to deal with the cramps. Last 3 games, Brawley had quite a few cramps. Took a couple players out, out a couple plays, and keeps us off our game.
45 seconds and ticking here in the third quarter. Raiders down by 1. Beltran gets a direct handoff, and he's off to the races. 40, 35, and he runs out of bounds at the 32-yard line as he picks up 23 yards. Direct handoff, and took it up the right behind the right guard and the right tackle. And the Raiders now with the first down at the Brawley 33-yard line.
And again, if you look at the sidelines, you can see the number of athletes available to Brawley and the number of athletes available to Cibola. And, when you have to go both ways, weather or no weather, as I just kind of complimented the weather, it makes it a little bit tougher.
And not only that, guys, again, don't want to beat a dead horse. The 2 ejections.
Oh, yeah.
We also have J.J. Fernandez with a broken jaw. As they're going to run it, Ching is hit in the backfield, and he is brought down for a big loss on the play. Big-time defensive play by Jesse Gutierrez and Dominic Santana. And even Jaden Figueroa got in on the play.
Yeah, Jaden Figueroa made the initial contact. He's there to play ball.
Well, the Wildcats have to be careful because the minute Cibola sees them creeping into those gaps to stop the run is when they're going to bring back Hoffmeyer. Okay, that'll do it for the third quarter. A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 14, the Cibola Raiders 13. We have one heck of a football game and 8 minutes left. Don't go anywhere. Danny, Albert, and I will be back with more football after this.
This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos in El Centro, Brawley and Imperial, Ojeda Industries, and the Man Company.
Whether you're buying, selling, or renting a home, or for all your agricultural real estate needs, call on the Dom Team, your experienced hometown agents who have served the Imperial Valley since 2002. Let the Dom Team make your next real estate transaction more successful and enjoyable. Give Doug or Andrew a call at 760-427-6741. The Dom Team, proud supporters of Wildcat football.
Back at Cibola Raider Stadium, we're in the fourth quarter, and here with the play-by-play is Albert Padilla.
Locklear on second and long. Out of the shotgun is going to roll to the right. Has room to run. Had a man. Put it right in his hands, but unable to make the catch. Nick Campos, number 21. As Locklear could have ran for some yardage, and then Campos broke free, and he would have had some yards to run after the catch as well, but unable to connect. Third and long coming up.
Yeah, good pursuit also by number 42, Jesse Gutierrez.
He's having a heck of a game.
Yeah, he rushed the quarterback a little bit right there.
Good call. He's having a heck of a game, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, got held, I think, a little bit on that one, too, but maybe the ref missed that
there
one.
Was a little bit, yeah,
well, a little.
It just only holding. It's only holding in California. That's your problem. You got to get used to this. You got to learn how to travel better. Okay, 11:54 to go, and some kind of a miscommunication. The umpire standing over the football. The referee writing something down. He might have called. I don't know. I don't see a penalty. What do you?
Yeah, that's what it was. The down marker was saying fourth down, and it's actually third down.
Okay, but why is okay? But he's red. I guess eventually, if your chain gang could get a penalty, we better tell the Shank boys. They've been doing it since 1950 something.
They might get ejected for targeting.
I was going to say, targeting the down marker.
Going to be third and long. Locklear, the pressure is coming, but he steps in and nobody home. Locklear is going to run for the first down and a couple more. He slides at the 21. Oh, man, a near sack turns into a first down run by the senior Quana Locklear.
With 11:44 to go, the Brawley defense learned an important lesson. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Oh, man, what a play that could be here for the Raiders, as now they have life again. First and 10 from the Wildcat 22-yard line, down by a point. Again, that missed extra point could come back and haunt them. And they actually had two tries at that extra point. Pardon me, that was the first touchdown. Out of the gun now. Locklear has two to the left, two to the right. Beltran, the lone back. Locklear feels pressure. Going backwards, rolls to the right, throws to Beltran. Beltran drops the football. Oh, a late penalty marker thrown near.
Omar Chavez chased Locklear halfway around Yuma County And then when he finally caught him as he dumped the ball off, they are going to call roughing the passer. That is not an automatic first down. They're going to take it from the line of scrimmage, I believe, because he wasn't down there. Had they tackled him there and done that, it would have been from there. But now they're going to go back to the line of scrimmage, and this is going to be another killer for the Wildcats.
Wow. Fourth 15-yard penalty of the night, if you're keeping track, for the Wildcat. 3 unsportsmanlike, and now this one, a roughing the passer penalty. And this is going to move the football half the distance to the goal line, and it is going to give the Raiders a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 for the Raiders just outside the Wildcat 10-yard line. We'll mark it down at around the 11-yard line. Costly penalty here, extending the drive for the Raiders. Locklear taking his time getting the signals in from the sideline. Again, as Tom mentioned earlier, they do not huddle. 1 receiver to the left, they put 2 to the right. Beltran standing right next to Locklear. Locklear throws, and it's almost intercepted.
Jumping the route was Murillo, and he got there, but he just could not make the catch. But he saw that coming, got in front of the receiver, and it's called in the new football parlance, jumping the route. And he just sat back and did that. That's what Nene is so good at. So Murillo's saying, okay, I can do that too.
Yeah, good job from Murillo stepping up, especially with Nene out. And, we need that leadership and that defensive scheme right now. So let's see.
It's got to be a good confidence booster as well for Murillo after making a solid defensive play. Beltran gets a handoff, but he gets hit immediately, falls forward for a short gain, but a number of Wildcats in on the stop there for the Brawley defense.
Omar Chavez in for the tackle again, number 52. All right.
Nathan May also helping out on the spot. And here we go, guys. 3rd down, another very crucial play with 10 minutes and 28 seconds and ticking in the 4th quarter. Brawley leading 14-13, looking for their first victory outside of the state of California. Locklear out of the gun, fakes to Beltran, rolls to the right, has pressure, throws into the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Liam Hoffmeyer, number 85. And a good toss there.
That's just the Brawley. That's just a bad gene pool. Nobody able to jump up and contest a 6'4" receiver.
Right.
And it's not anything that just recently happened. That's been Brawley's Achilles heel for a long time. And again, it's, as I said, it's just purely genetic. In league, I don't think we're going to face anybody 6'4". So we will see what happens. Meanwhile, on the field, there is a timeout before the extra point. I think Cibola is going to decide whether to go for 2 or 1. With the score 19-14 and 10:07 to play, we'll be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the Fine Folds at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone number is 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
This portion of Wildcat Football is brought to you by Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers, located at 350 G Street in Brawley. Stop by and talk with Jeff or Holly, or give them a call at 760-344-0600. That's Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers. Go Wildcats from Clicka Parker Insurance.
Welcome back to Cibola Raider High School field. And with 10:07 to go, and the score 19-14, the Raiders will go for 2. Danny?
All right, so the Raiders going for a 2-point conversion. The ball snapped. Quarterback's running to the outside. running while he's on the. Oh, no good. Good job. So what happened there? Quarterback runs out to the left side, throws the ball, incomplete pass, and with 10 minutes 7 seconds, we have Cibola Raiders 19, Wildcats 14. That was a big play for the Brawley Wildcats. So right now, a touchdown can get them the lead.
Okay, a look at the scoreboard. Cibola 19, Brawley 14. We've still got 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
This portion of Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by The Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at The Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from The Man Company.
Back at Cibola High School, we've got a honey of a football game. Getting set to kick off are the Raiders, who just have retaken the lead 19-14. But Brawley just a touchdown away from recapturing that. The Wildcats will receive the ball, and here with the play-by-play is Albert Padilla.
Back to return is Reyes for the Wildcats and Chavo, but before the kick, penalty marker, that we have seen an increase in penalties since late in the second quarter.
And these guys really maybe had a little car lag or something like that, but they certainly woke up in that second quarter.
And this one is against the Raiders. So illegal formation, it'll cost them 5 yards. And maybe allow the Wildcats here a little extra space to get a big return here, which would be great for Brawley. They can get a big special teams play again here. And
Cibola's special teams not impressive tonight, so let's see if the Wildcats can't turn this into some good field position.
They'll kick off now from the 35 after the penalty. A little shorter hit. Fair catch called for by J.J. Gutierrez.
With nobody near him. He'll look back at the films and learn from that one. But remember, Albert, last week we saw kind of a nightmare on a couple of those, right, Danny?
Yeah, I remember last week there was a kickoff. We fumbled one. The other one, one of our tried a fair catch, and one of our
wasn't tipped. He just missed it. I saw the film.
Was it tipped? No. Oh, okay. No, not tipped, huh? Okay, well, we just outright missed it, so.
From the 31, 1st and 10 with just over 10 minutes remaining. Craig Bob in motion. Gutierrez hits Reyes, who breaks away from a man, and he gets to the 40-yard line. Very impressive there. Gutierrez was looking to hit Craig Baum, who was running full speed out of the backfield, similar to a play earlier in the third quarter that resulted in a first down, but saw he was covered, looked to the next man. That was Damian Reyes, and Reyes picks up about 9 yards as he takes it to the Wildcat 40-yard line. 2nd and 1. They send 2 to the left, and they're going to send 2 to the right. Craig Baum now in motion. Gutierrez was looking to pitch. He fumbles it and is able to fall forward on that play. And the Wildcats had some success with Craig Baum going in motion, but they're unable to get that play going after the fumble. So 2nd and 1 now turns into 3rd and about 4 yards to go from the Brawley 37-yard line.
Okay, just a rookie mistake, taking his eyes off the ball, trying to spot his receiver a little bit early. Ethan fortunately had the presence of mind to recover the football.
And one of the positives for tonight, for sure, no fumbles lost and no interceptions, so that's a good sign for the Wildcats. Gutierrez gives to Craig Baum. Craig Baum runs into a couple of black jerseys, moves the pile a couple of yards, and he is right at the sticks, right at the first down marker. We're going to see what kind of spot he gets. Not the best spot in the world. We'll see if they measure. They will.
Okay, we'll take a break here. Danny Tombach has some scores for us, Albert.
All right. So we have Southwest and Yuma tied at 7 apiece in the fourth quarter. We have Monte Vista up 25, Imperial 20 in the fourth quarter. We have Christian 31, Central 21 in the third quarter. We have Palo Verde 33, Hopeville 51. So Hopeville up 51 to 33. We have a tie for Calipat and Desert Mountain Christian 21-21. Vincent Memorial up against El Cajon Valley 14-0. That's your update.
And the Calexico Bulldogs have the bye.
First down, guys.
Okay, we're back, and Albert, favorable measurement for the Wildcats.
Absolutely, and at this point, we'll take it. Doesn't make up for the 2 ejections, but we'll take it. Or wait a minute, is it a first down? Why isn't the chain gangs moving?
No, I guess they're saying it wasn't. It looked to me like it was, but they're saying it's fourth down.
Inches, huh?
Fourth, and it looks like maybe,
We spoke too soon, Tom. Now it's fourth and inches.
And Brawley's going for it.
Could be the play of the game right here. Greg Baum has a first down as he breaks a tackle, and he is brought down. Oh, a late penalty marker on the field.
Could be a face mask. Could be a face mask. Because he was spinning. And
whenever you get that marker towards the end of the play, usually it's going to be one of those unsportsmanlike.
Although they're pointing at Brawley, so this may not end well. But
well, this Brawley sideline is going to erupt here if it's against.
The Brawley crowds filled in kind of pretty well at the start of the game. It was pretty bleak over there. The Wildcats showed up.
Oh, it's a face mask against
Craig Baum, probably fighting. No. Yeah,
the ball's moving one way. The official pointed the other.
I think this crew's from Mars. Okay, this guy can't. So I'm sorry, but you ask yourself a question: if you're in the Phoenix area, why would you send these guys all the way over here? Just ask yourself that question. I'm not answering it.
I'm assuming the call was against the running back, Craig
Baum might have twisted him trying to break free from the.
You do not call an offensive face mask on the ball carrier. Oh my goodness!
That's a first for me.
And it's not even a full moon. We had that a couple of games ago.
Oh, that is a ridiculous play, ridiculous penalty. Ridiculous call by the officiating crew. Unbelievable.
And then so confused are they that they marched the wrong way and have to march back.
Yeah, the official was like, what? Face mask?
Face mask. Yeah. And we all thought it was going that way, including the official. He just heard face mask and apparently didn't get the rest of the memo.
And I'm assuming
he was out to lunch or someplace, maybe coffee break. Maybe he needs a coffee break.
Well, that might be
so Brawley for the third time is going to be trying to get a first down, and
So you figure we're in 4-down territory. 7:48 to go. Wildcats punt here. They may not get the football back.
The referee's trying to explain it to John Self, and the more he talks, the more it's not making any sense.
We're going to have to bring up Billy Brewer again here.
No, Billy's right in the middle of it.
Let's get some more clarification on this.
Yeah, we need to mic up Billy. We're going to get a remote mic on Billy to hear some of these inane conversations.
It'll be fourth down here as soon as...
as soon as they get through. And again, I'm going to tell you something.
They are not happy on that
It's like the kid that shows up without his homework and wants to give you a 5-minute excuse. Okay? The longer he talks, the more you know it's getting less and less the truth. Truth is usually pretty simple. When you got to explain a call like that, it's not good.
And the Brawley sideline was right there. That's where the infraction occurred.
We got blocked. I have binoculars, thanks to Coach John Self. And I haven't been using them but I'm going to watch these guys. Okay, now they're discussing it again. I'll tell you what.
They want to make sure they got the right yardage.
Yeah, maybe they took an extra yard away from Brawley. Well, okay.
What do we got here? Fourth down and 4.
We got the same old thing. It's just fourth down, and now Brawley's got to punt the football away. And Cibola should have pretty good pretty good.
All kinds of confusion. Now we got all kinds of.
Now Brawley, I think, is going to go for it. I don't know. Is Brawley going to just end up going for it? I mean,
I think at this point they might as well.
You better get the idea that you got it 3 times. You got to get it a 4th time. So the Wildcats are going to go for it, and this is just and I worry sometimes about the players. As you said, they were already livid about coming over here
they were
and having to come right back over
Monday
here.
Morning. They're going to be crushed on Monday morning if this continues. 4th down and 3 here. This is now the new play of the game. Movement at the line.
Well, let's see who they call it on. Let's see who they call it on. The Yuma player jumped, and Cibola is saying it's on Brawley, and let's see. The side judge has already made up his mind.
Guys, was there any doubt who that penalty was going to be against?
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
You're watching it at home. You're watching it at home. Let's let them. That's a neat thing about having video on this. But join us next week. Come on out and voice your opinion, as it were, right under Albert in the in the seats.
And it's Craig Baum
is forced to punt because Nene is our punter. So we not only lost our strong safety, our best wide receiver, we lost our punter.
It's going to be pretty hard to win like this, guys.
Well, that's okay.
That 12 man on the field.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we just play the best football we can, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna see how the last 7:08 plays out. Okay, let's drop this in while we're talking about it.
This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Wildcat Football is sponsored by OK Rubber Tire Company, Jordan Central Implements, Desert RV, Brant Beef, Carter Taylor and Lidco, Clayton Drain Tile, and Fry Chapel and Mortuary. And now back to exciting Brawley High Wildcat football.
Okay, with the score, 19-14, the Cibola Raiders at midfield after a nice run. More play-by-play in the 4th quarter. Brawley needs to stop. Here's Albert Padilla to let you know what they do.
1st and 10 for the Raiders after the run by Beltran. And they'll spot the football at the 50-yard line. Wildcats, needless to say, they need something big here on defense, or it's going to be night-night. And we are having a momentary stoppage on the field. I think we have an issue with the clock. So the Raiders.
Yeah, why isn't the clock running?
Holding on to
why are they getting all this time? Why is the clock? I mean, I know they want the time to put their. I'm sorry, their what? All right. We'll see. He's ready. Okay, we're ready to play some football. Here we go.
So they put a few seconds back on the clock, and this could turn out to be in our benefit. Of course, we need all the time we can get right now, as the Wildcats are going to look to get a stop and hopefully get at least one more offensive series. Out of the gun, Locklear, you got kind of that power set with extra tight ends and the H-back going in there to block. They go to Beltran, and he takes it just inside the 50. Little to no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And so the Wildcats came into tonight hoping to get that first victory here in Arizona.
Okay, 79. That's Javier Martinez is now anchoring that defensive line as Brawley feels like they're going to try to pound the rock, which makes sense.
2nd and 10. That same power formation. Locklear's out of the gun. Beltran's going to get the carry. He bounces it off to the outside, and he does so very nicely. Runs out of bounds at the Wildcat 43. Again, good vision. This guy's got some.
Oh, he's a beautiful runner. They're not taking anything away from him. He is a force to be reckoned with.
And he has made some good plays here tonight. And 3rd down here, Wildcats. If they can get a stop here, they'll have plenty of time. A couple of timeouts in the pocket. to maybe put together one last-minute drive here and try to steal one here in Cibola, home of the Raiders here in Yuma, Arizona. 3rd and 3. Locklear's out of the gun. They got that H-back right behind that left guard. Locklear gives to Beltran, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be brought down short of the first down marker.
And that's big Javier Martinez. They just put him in the game, number 78. And, excuse me, that's Daniel Coloca. And Coloca, I believe, this is maybe his first defensive play of the night. But the Wildcats may have waited a little bit too long to go to put those guys in. But we'll see. Clock is running. It's now become the ally of the Cibola Raiders, and not much the Wildcats can do about that.
5:13 and ticking. It is 4th and
they're
about
going
2
for it.
yards.
And they're going
for it. Watch out for them trying to pull the Wildcats off sides. That would be a shame. No, they're going to snap it. Locklear fakes it. He's got pressure. Throws. He's got a man. And Hoffmeyer has the reception. He has a first down at the 26-yard line. Liam Hoffmeyer. Everyone was thinking run.
Yeah, well, and the Wildcats almost got to Locklear, but he threw it off balance. But nice comeback catch by Hoffmeyer. And wide open, so he just kind of made sure he caught the football, which is his job.
And guys, I think we need someone like that on our team. Can we get a 6'4"?
Yeah, so is our
tight end?
Our basketball coach would probably like somebody 6'4".
So nice to have a target.
Oh yeah,
like that,
and a guy that can catch.
Yeah,
he can catch. Yeah, he can catch and jump. So that helps along with it. It doesn't always come like that.
Beltran gets the handoff. Scoots inside the 25-yard line for a pickup of 2 yards.
Omar Chavez there on the tackle along with number 42. We've been calling him all night. Good game by Jesse Gutierrez. And the Wildcats' job is to stop this, and it's not happening. The Wildcats, I'm not sure who called timeout.
Wildcats called timeout.
Okay, Brawley calls timeout with 4:08 to go. Coach John Self maybe seeing this one slipping away a little bit and knowing he needs a stop and he needs to get the ball back quick. So we will be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the Fine Folds at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone number is 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
Wildcat Football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats from Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
Welcome back to Cibola High School in Yuma, Arizona. 4:08 to play. The Raiders with a 19-14 lead over the Brawley High Wildcats. A 2nd and 7 from the Wildcat 24-yard line. And with the Wildcats' hopes dimming, here's some more play-by-play from Albert Padilla.
2nd down, 7 yards. Again, Raiders showing that run formation. Beltran gets a handoff, follows his blockers, and he gets out to the 22-yard line. And we're going to have another 3rd down here as we are now under 4 minutes.
Gain of about 3, and again, Brawley beefing up that line, and the Wildcats again calling timeout. Coach John Self hoping to take over on downs. This time the big man in there is Javier Martinez, and little guys, well, there's a bunch of them. But for the Brawley High Wildcats, again, a tough assignment. And but last week, Danny Taubach, they were able to make a little drive near the end, so they don't need a lot of time now that we have Ethan Gutierrez, the quarterback.
Right, and now we just need to stop this next 2 plays. We do have 3 minutes left, 3 minutes 50 seconds.
I believe we just have one more timeout. Would that be your feeling, Albert?
Well, we've spent 2 timeouts here. I don't recall if there was a timeout earlier.
Well, let's assume that John Self's strategy is to try to hold here. I'm assuming, if they have a field goal kicker, that would make it 22. Brawley could still tie it.
Right.
So we'll see what they decide. But first, a big play on 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Beltran in the backfield. Locklear has time. He's going to go to the end zone. It is well covered and passes incomplete. Excellent defensive coverage by Joel Murillo, number 5. He was all over the receiver within the rules and is able to break up the pass that was intended there for Christian Bonilla.
A good defensive play by Rio. Yeah. And then also that stops the clock. So we're at 3 minutes 47 seconds. So
Brawley did not need to burn their
Excellent
3rd timeout.
Point, guys. Excellent point.
Good job, Danny.
And so it's going to bring up 4th down.
3:47 to go. Next Friday night, join us. Join us physically. If you can't, join us all along the Facebook or on the internet at thedesertreview.com as the Brawley High Wildcats will be hosting the Kofa Kings. So more Yuma schools as Brawley has 4 of their 5 opponents out of the Yuma area. Timeout Cibola Raiders with 3:47 to go. A big 4th down and 5. And this has been a mixed bag, guys. We'll keep it here for a second. It's been a mixed bag as to whether, it seems like they break big runs or we can maybe get them within a yard or 2. Last time in a similar situation, they faked the run and went for the pass in the flat. So if you're the Cibola Raiders or if you're Coach John Self, what are you telling your defense?
I think you want to blitz here and put pressure on the quarterback. I'm assuming he's going to fake it to Beltran and he's going to be looking to throw probably at number 85. That's who I would throw to here on this play.
Yep. However, the clock's going to stop on a change of possession, so it's either going to be a 1st down Cibola, which effectively puts the game almost out of Brawley's reach, or it's going to be the clock is going to stop on change of possession. Here we go, big 4th down,
and it's 4th down. Pressure comes, throws over the middle, passes incomplete. It is broken up there by Joel Murillo. Oh, a penalty marker on the play. Oh, what is this? Holding on the offense. Penalty is declined, and the Wildcats will take over, and the Raiders are wanting a pass interference on the play. However, no flags, and instead the Wildcats will take over on downs. And they got plenty of time here, 3:42. We believe they have 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to start from their 22-yard line. Excellent experience here as well for Ethan Gutierrez.
Yeah, and this is what preseason games are about. Again, that's, and without his tight end and his wide receiver, but doing well without them. So, you never know what the next man up can do till you give him a chance.
Trips to the right. They're going to send Chavo here to the near sideline. The lone receiver on the left. Craig Baum, the lone back. Gutierrez is out of the gun. Freshman looking for that quick out, almost fumbled the football.
He spun it around, and that allowed a sack, and that's killer. He will learn from that.
And he is tackled at the 16-yard line. Could have been more disastrous, Cape. It's a loss of 5 yards, but at least he lives to play another down. He has had, that's the 3rd time that he's mishandled the football like that. A couple times put it on the ground. This time the ball was slipping as he was trying to gun it. But luckily, no turnovers for the Wildcats tonight as we get close to that 3-minute mark, and now we're under movement at the line. We'll see who gets. It's going to be against the Raiders. And they have had a number of offside penalties as well.
Gutierrez, we've noticed over the last couple weeks, pretty good at doing that, huh, Danny?
Yeah, and showing the discipline of the Raleigh Wildcats too. Especially with 2 minutes and 58 seconds, they're still able to keep that snap count and gain those 5 yards with a penalty. So
added benefit of stopping the clock, giving the Wildcats a chance to regroup a little bit, and they're going to re-huddle. Okay, so again, a key penalty in a lot of ways, not a killer, but key. Now the clock is started again.
2nd and 10.
And the Wildcats appear to be a little confused.
Trips to the left. Craig Baum in the backfield. Gutierrez looking to throw. Guns it. Completes it. Mays has the reception. And he has a first down to the Wildcat 33-yard line. 2:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The clock will stop momentarily. Raiders have a 5-point lead. That extra point and that point after touchdown attempt that was failed looms large right now, as the Wildcats can take the lead with a touchdown.
But they're taking forever to get out of the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage. I'm sorry, but it's
you got to go no huddle from here on out. Gutierrez slings it and incomplete. He was looking to hit Jesse Gutierrez,
and he was under pressure.
Yeah. Well, that stops the clock, which is a good thing for the Wildcats.
Yeah, gives them a chance to regroup, because apparently we're not doing real good on the fly. Although Gutierrez has been doing a lot of the play calling for a freshman, no less, at the line of scrimmage. 2:01 to go, 19-14 in favor of the Cibola Raiders. It'll be 2nd and 10 Wildcats from the 33-yard line. And we hope you're enjoying this all along the way. And more play-by-play, here's Albert.
Ethan out of the gun, feels the pressure, steps into it. Now he's going to run with the football. Left sideline, 45, into midfield and into Raider territory, out of bounds at the 48-yard line. That is a gain of 13 yards and a Wildcat first down. It also stops the clock with 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining.
Okay, good awareness downfield by Adrian Chavez, good old Chavo, and by Damian Reyes. And they both picked up the idea that he was coming their way, stuck around, blocked, did not commit any fouls, and allowed him to get an extra 10 or 15 yards. So good awareness by those two players.
And Gutierrez as well, he felt that pressure and he moved right into the middle where there was no pressure, and then he found his way for the first down. Gutierrez is going to throw on the money. Murillo with the reception, who got popped as soon as he caught it, but he held on to the football. He is stopped at the 40. Now the clock is going to tick here, and the Wildcats need to move. And, Tom, they are not looking like they're in a hurry here. The clock is ticking. Now we're down to 1:30.
Well, they're getting out as fast as they can. It's just short of a first down that would have given them time to huddle up. But they're running dangerously close of running out of huddle up time.
It's going to cost them about 30 seconds here. 2nd and 1. Gutierrez has time. Ball pops up into the air as it hits Reyes in the chest. It went up about 20 feet into the air.
It was a bullet.
It falls harmlessly incomplete.
Wow is right. Who is it intended for?
Damian Reyes.
He's going to wake up with a welt on his chest. that ball popped up, and man, it went like skyward. Here we go. Brawley moving a little faster, but the incomplete. Now that we have an now is when you huddle up and get everything straight for the next couple of plays.
3rd and 1 here for the Wildcats. Craig Baum in motion. Blitz comes. Pass is complete. It's Murillo again with the reception. And Joel tackled at the 32-yard line. Second reception of the drive. And Murillo also made some plays on defense on that last drive, including breaking up the pass on 4th down. So Joel, next man up, and he has stepped up here in the absence of Nathan Torres.
I'm telling you, folks, you got to come out and see these Wildcats. You have to come out and see these Wildcats. This is an exciting football team that has played through just about everything that can be thrown at a team, and doing well, and taking it better than perhaps I have been. They're going to call. They're adding a penalty, so they're going to put another 15 yards onto this.
Finally,
wow! That is. I mean, that's Well, I don't see them marking off. No, now they're going to mark it off.
Was it roughing the passer?
Yeah,
roughing the passer. That was the initial call. I didn't see the flag.
Didn't see the play.
I saw the play. I didn't see the flag.
Must have been pretty blatant if they're going to call it. And that's going to put them inside the 20. Now they're in the Raider red zone. And time's still a factor, but not as much anymore here because they're only 17 yards away.
We have one timeout, right?
And a fresh set of downs and a timeout. Yeah, we believe so. We don't know.
Out of the gun. Gutierrez throws off the hands of Reyes again. It's incomplete. Oh, man, a mere image play to the one we saw a few sequences ago. Intended for Reyes. It goes off his hands and chest, and it pops about 20 feet into the air, and it falls in the middle of the Raider defense.
And we don't have anybody to get Adrian out of there, but right now he's probably pretty much mentally, he's anguished. So we need somebody out there with a little confidence. 54 seconds to go.
Second down and 10. They're going to split 4. Craig Baum in the backfield. Gutierrez has pressure. Gets away from a man. Gets away from another. There's a flag on the play. Gutierrez following his blockers. A spectacular run down to the 7-yard line. But I'm assuming that this is coming back with 42 seconds to go. Oh, it's a face mask against the Raiders. And it's going to be a first down for the Wildcats, and they should tack on half the distance to the goal line with 42 seconds remaining. Wow. Oh, it's a personal foul face mask against the Raiders.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's half the distance to the goal.
What a play by Ethan Gutierrez. 2 Raiders got a hand on him. He got away from both of them. And then he just weaved his way through that Raider defense, picking up that first down at half the distance to the goal line. And now the Wildcats are about 3.5 yards away from winning this one here. 38 seconds and ticking. Can the Wildcats pull it off? Their first victory here in Yuma County. Gutierrez rolls to the right. He's got a lot of pressure. He throws, and it's incomplete. It's incomplete. There was a man in the area.
He almost got it to him.
And the people were calling for intentional grounding, but there was a Wildcat in the area. Good play by Gutierrez. Throw that ball away. You got 3 more downs. You got 27 seconds.
Yeah, and there's no hurry because we now have 45 seconds to run the play because it was an incomplete pass.
And again, the Wildcats might have a timeout left. Crowd now making some noise, trying to cheer on the home team, the Raiders, but we're hoping here for a come-from-behind victory for the Wildcats with 27 seconds to go from the 4, and we're going to have a timeout.
Cibola Raiders. Okay, I don't know what took so long because Brawley was out there doing a cadence. So let's keep it right here. We like to thank all of our sponsors, but we got time to thank them later. Okay, let's set the stage. Tom Ronco, Albert Padilla, and Danny Tombach. And here's where we're at. Brawley has the ball. 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. 4's all across the bottom of the scoreboard. 4th down, 4-yard line, 4 to go, 4. And then 27 seconds. Brawley just needs to get into the end zone. That would give them 6 points and a, pretty much 20-19 victory. And again, that play scared me a little bit, Albert Padilla, in that had Gutierrez gotten sacked out around the 10 or 15-yard line, that changes the whole dynamic. So Brawley, again, I'm sure, assuming that Cibola was looking for a run, tried to cross them up. We'll see what the Wildcats do now. They have a timeout.
We do have one timeout. That's what I was going to say.
Good point, Danny. Good point, Danny. That does allow the Wildcats to run the football at least once. But we'll see here. 2nd and goal from the 4. Got that power formation. 2 guys to the right. Craig Baum gets the carry, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown! Brawley Wildcats, a 4-yard touchdown run for Blake Craigbaum. And the Wildcats have taken the lead with 23 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Wow!
Big play by Craigbaum right there. Big play.
All I got to say is, holy Toledo.
Wow.
It's an impressive drive against a good football team. Let me make no mistake about this. This game is close because this is a very good Cibola Raider football team.
Yep. And here's the kick.
And
it is good.
Okay, Pereda. It's kind of irrelevant if the if the Cibola Raiders can get down the field and get into field goal position.
Well, they should have gone
certainly
for two, Tom.
yeah.
There was no reason to kick a extra point. It won't matter if we get the win, but they could have gone for two, made it a 3-point game, and would have forced the Raiders to get a touchdown in order to beat us. Now they could theoretically beat us with the field goal, but with 23 seconds, not a lot of time left. So after all of the events that we've had here, unsportsmanlike penalties, roughing the kickers and roughing the passers.
Oh, it ain't over
ejections.
yet. It's not over yet. In 23 seconds in the hands of a good offense,
a lot can happen.
A lot can happen. And as you pointed out, Brawley making the decision to give them the opportunity to kick a field goal, although we have not seen a lot from the even after PAT attempts. But
Raiders.
I got news for you. We also tried a 63-yard field goal a couple years ago, and nobody gave us much credit for being able to make that, and we did. So you can't count anybody out, not until it's over.
No timeouts for the Raiders. They're going to, short kick, and this one's headed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That's going to draw a penalty marker.
I think you get it at the 35. Or let's see, though. Well, let's see. I don't think Pereda was trying to get it out of bounds.
So that
maybe he didn't want them to run it back. So.
No, but I think he wanted it short.
Okay.
But I don't think he wanted it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think that's a lack of execution.
Yeah, but again, you end up at the 35.
Right.
Apparently, no matter where it goes out of bounds. So.
Yep.
Wow.
Now the Raiders, I believe, could have chosen to have the Wildcat free kick, but they'll take it at the 35. They only need a field goal.
Yeah, and depending on their kicker, they need 40, 50 yards, but they've got trips and they can get it. Albert.
And the Wildcats here are 3 DBs playing real back, so the Raiders do have some room. Locklear's got some pressure, and he is going to be brought down. He tosses the ball, and is caught by Beltran, but he's tackled in bounds at the 48. Now a flag is thrown.
Yeah, we got holding.
And if this is against...
hold on. Let's
see what the penalty is.
Well, there's a number of possibilities.
He might have crossed the line to scrimmage when he threw the pass. That could be.
Yeah, and it was forward. It wasn't backwards, so it wasn't a lateral. If it would have been backwards, it doesn't matter where you are on the field. Okay.
He passed. Yeah, he did pass. Let's see what the penalty is. And this could be a 10-second runoff as well. They're moving the football back. It is an illegal forward pass. Not a good decision by Locklear, who had crossed the line to scrimmage. Now, a sack would have essentially ended the game as well. And I know in the pros and college, this would include a runoff. But they may not be running time off. We'll see what the official says.
Okay, intentional, illegal forward pass.
It's a loss of down.
Wait a minute. And then he put his hands behind his...
Is that a loss? I think it's a loss of down.
Loss of down. Okay.
They're not going to run off.
No, they're not going to run off anytime. I don't believe in high school I've never seen a runoff, actually.
But it does stop the clock. Had it been a sack, the game might be over. So maybe not such a bad choice here by the senior quarterback, Juana Locklear. 2nd down and long. Wildcat DBs are playing back. Time is their friend right now. Locklear feels the pressure. He rolls to the right. He's in trouble. He is sacked at the 13-yard line. The time is going to run out. The Brawley Wildcats are going to win for the first time in Yuma.
This year.
Gutierrez
this year.
with the sack.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but this year. Okay, great football game between two good teams. It literally came down to who had the ball last, and Brawley had it last, and that's how the game ended up. So the Wildcats come up with the victory, 21-19. We're going to we are going to just kind of keep it here for a moment and enjoy a little bit of this. The Wildcats will be at home next Friday night, and they will be taking on the Kofa Kings. Brawley evens their season record at 2-2. And Danny, a final look at some scores, or did you get rid of them already?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Magic fingers. Okay, here we go. The internet is running rampant.
No, actually, I'm not updated. Sorry.
Well, can you update it?
I'm on the wrong.
Yeah, you're on the wrong. You went the wrong. No, we don't want that one. That's not the good one.
Yep.
You did lose it. Okay. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are out at midfield, having to be feeling pretty good about themselves. And again, next Friday night, we will be at Warren Field in Brawley to take on the Kofa Kings. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Following Friday, we will also be at Brawley's Warren Field. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Homecoming against the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets. And then what's shaping up, as we talked about way back in the pregame show, Albert Padilla, a showdown with the Imperial Tigers at Brawley's Warren Field. And that's in 3 games. And, wow, the way this team's going, that's going to seem like a lifetime.
Right. Good victory for the Wildcats. We came into tonight saying this is sort of a measuring stick game for the Brawley Wildcats, taking on a team that had defeated Imperial, had defeated Southwest. And so Brawley getting a victory with all of the adversity, if you throw that in there, throw that Ethan Gutierrez game-winning drive, leading them to a game-winning touchdown here in the final minute. Just a lot of guys stepping up. Joel Murillo, Jaden Figueroa, Gutierrez, a lot of the names that maybe you don't hear every single week. Those guys stepped up. They made big plays. And Brawley was looking at a 0-3 in Yuma County, but they got the victory here. And next week they're taking on an opponent which figures to not be as challenging as the previous 3 Yuma schools that they have played against the Kofa Kings, but we'll see. That's why they play the game, and we'll see how things go next Friday night.
Okay, a final look at the scoreboard. What else is happening, Danny Tombach?
All right, so we have Southwest over Yuma, 27-7. We have Imperial over Monte Vista, 26-25. We have Central losing to Christian, 31-28.
Imperial went out.
Yeah, and Palo Verde losing to Hopeville. Hopeville 58, Palo Verde 41. We have Calipat getting a win over Desert Mountain Christian, 29-21. And Vincent Memorial 14, El Cajon Valley 0.
And that hasn't been updated since the second quarter, so we have no idea what that score is. Just looking at those right off the top of my head, congratulations to Keith Smith Sr. on his first victory as a varsity head football coach with the Calipatria Hornets over Desert Christian High School. Wow. Okay, from Cibola High School, home of the Raiders, the Brawley High Wildcats able to pull out a 2-point victory. Imperial pulls out a 1-point victory, and Central looks like they fall by 3 points. So, again, 3 teams that look awfully even going into Imperial Valley League play. For Danny Tombach and Albert Padilla, I am Tom Ronco. We'd like to thank the Desert Review for bringing you the audio and the video on this and allowing us to broadcast. We will be back next Friday night, but we hope to see you in the stands. Bring your phone. You don't have to,
They would never bring their phone.
I was going to say that. We're going to get a game where everybody's looking down instead of looking at the field. That could be our next move. All right. Again, for my broadcast crew here from Wildcat Broadcasting, this is Tom Ronco saying good night, but we're going to run our sponsors one more time, so hopefully you listen to them and appreciate them. Thank you, and see you next week.
Welcome to exciting 2019 Brawley High Wildcat football. This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company, OK Rubber Tire, Jordan Central Implements, Desert RV, Brant Beef, Carter Taylor and Lidco, Clayton Drain Tile Maintenance, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Clickup Parker Insurance Company, A&R Construction, Brawley Auto Center, Smith Candle Insurance and Real Estate, and One World Beef Packing. And now here is the Wildcat Broadcasting team of Tom Ronco